Hey guys, Mark here. I hope you are well. Today's video is going to demonstrate how to make a very simple braided paracord bracelet. This bracelet has the look of a 3-stranded braid and it is made using a fairly rare yet very useful technique. So with this said, let's move on to the tutorial. Here you can see the bracelet up close. The body is made using a 3-stranded flat braid. On one side we have a loop. On the other side we have a stopper knot which goes through the loop, and this closes the bracelet. So what is special about this bracelet? Well, the only thing that is fairly remarkable is that it is made using a single strand of paracord. Let's move on to the supplies, then tie one. The supplies for this bracelet probably can't get any simpler. The first thing that you're going to need is a piece of paracord about 4 feet long. This is more than enough for the average wrist. You're also going to need something to cut your paracord with and a lighter to melt the ends. With these few supplies ready, let's begin. First off, let's tie the body of the bracelet. Pick up your strand of paracord and from the start of your cord, move down about 3/4 of a foot. Then pick up your working end and pass it behind the standing end, like this, which creates a loop. Now pull on the loop to make it a bit longer. Ideally, the loop should be a bit smaller than your wrist size. Now we have 3 strands to work with. Pick up the right strand, pass it over the middle strand, like this. Then your left strand is going to pass over the new middle strand. Then the right strand passes over the new middle strand, and the left strand passes over the new middle strand. Then the right end passes over the middle strand, and the left end passes over the middle strand. Then the right end passes over the middle strand. And at this point you're going to notice that a counter braid is beginning to form here at the bottom. To remove it, simply pull on your working end and the counter braid is going to disappear. Then continue braiding. Take your left strand, go over the middle strand. Then the right strand goes over the middle strand. Then the left strand goes over the middle strand. And the right strand. And the left strand. And the right strand. And again pull on the working end to remove the counter braid. Then simply continue. Left strand over the middle strand. Right strand over the middle strand. Left strand over. Right strand over. And again remove the counter braid. Now here at the bottom things get quite tight, so I change my technique up a bit here. Now I'm going to start with the left strand again going over. Then the right strand is going to go over the middle strand, but also under the left strand. This way I get no counter braid forming at the bottom. Now the right strand passes over the middle one. And finally, the left strand passes over the left strand here at the very bottom and under the right strand. Things get quite tight here at the bottom, but this is a good thing. So like this. And at this point I have braided the body of the bracelet. I'm now going to show you how to secure it up a bit. This is optional, but I like to do it just in case. So to secure the braid, what I do is I take the top strand and I can see that it's passing over this top loop. I'm going to pass with my working end through the same loop, like this. Then, using my working end, I'm going to pass under and through the loop that I just made. Then tighten it up. Now to secure the bottom part of the braid, I do exactly the same thing. So here I can see that my working end is passing under the loop at the bottom. So I'm going to pass under the loop one more time, like this. Then with my working end, I'm going to go through the loop from the top down and tighten it up. And this way I have secured my braid so that when I pull on it from either side, it's not going to get deformed. There is also one additional way of making the body of this bracelet without the untwisting. I think that some are going to prefer this method, so I'm also going to show you how to do it. So again, we start at the beginning of our cord and move down 3/4 of a foot. Then, using our working end, we're going to pass under the standing end, creating a loop. Now make sure that the loop is a bit smaller than your wrist size. Not much smaller, but smaller. We now have 3 strands to work with. Take the right strand, pass over the middle strand and under the left one. Like this. Take the right strand and pass over the middle strand. Like this. Then take your left strand and again pass over and under. Like this. Now the left strand is going to pass over the middle strand. Then with the right strand we pass over, under, to the left side. Then the right strand is going to pass over the middle strand. Then the left strand is going to pass over, under. Like this. The left strand passes over the middle strand, and then we pass over, under using our right strand. Then the right strand passes over the middle strand. And then we pass over under to the right side using our left strand. And we keep doing this until we reach the very bottom of our loop. And this is another way of making the body of the bracelet, but without the untwisting. Now again, I would recommend securing both ends of your braid to prevent the braid from getting distorted when you pull on the two ends. So what I do is, I take the top end, and I can see that it's exiting with an over out of the loop. So I'm going to re-enter with an over as well. Then travel into the loop using my working end. Then tighten up. On the bottom side, the strand is exiting the loop with an under. So I'm going to re-enter with an under as well. Then travel top down through the loop and tighten up. After braiding the body of the bracelet and securing both ends, it is time to place a loop onto one end and a stopper knot onto the other. So first let's take a look at the loop. For the loop you have a lot of choices. Probably the easiest one is to tie a bowline knot. For the bowline knot, take your strand coming out of the bracelet, twist it into a loop, take your working end, feed it under and through the loop, then behind the standing end, so behind the strand coming out of the bracelet, then back into the loop, which we made at the start. Tighten up, and what you get is a bowline knot. Now usually you will want to move your loop as close to the body of the bracelet as possible. To do this, simply work in this slack in between the bracelet and the loop, and work it out of the working end. After doing this, simply trim the end and melt it, and you have a functional loop at one side of your bracelet. The second way of adding a loop that I also quite like is to add an angler's loop. The angler's loop is tied by taking your strand, making a loop, coming over the standing end with your working end, then behind and in between the two loops, then over and in between the two loops. Then take the left loop and feed it through the right loop. Then simply tighten up, and what you get is an angler's loop. Again, you will want to move it as close to the body of the bracelet as possible. So to do this, you again work in the slack, and pull it out of the working end. And this should be the end result. Trim the end, melt it, and you are done on this side of the bracelet. Finally, we're going to place a stopper knot onto the other side of the bracelet. The knot of choice for me is going to be the Celtic button knot. Take the strand coming out of the bracelet and make a loop like this. Add a second loop and place it over the first like this. So you get 4 strands, and we're going to weave through them using our working end. We're going to start over under, then continue over under. Like this. Now take your working end and bring it to the right side like this. Then weave over this right strand, under the next 2 strands, and come out at the center of the knot. Then tighten up slightly, and the knot is tied. But as you can see, we have too much distance in between the knot and the bracelet. To fix this, plus tighten up the knot, we're going to work in this slack and bring it out of the working end. So something like this. You may want to do a second tightening, but this is a proper Celtic button knot. I would now move up about an inch, then cut my cord and melt it. I like to leave this little bit so that when I'm putting my bracelet on, I'm able to slip this end through the loop and pull on it to pull through this stopper knot. This is not mandatory, and if you don't like it, simply cut here at the knot. But I find it practical, so I do it. So guys, thank you very much for joining me in this tutorial. It was surprisingly hard for me to make, considering that the project is very simple. It took me quite a while. In any case, I hope that you enjoyed it and that you were able to tie the bracelet. Thank you very much and see you next time.